Hello,
Hello,
energetic. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Quite well.
Hello. Oh, whoa. I'm sorry. I just confused myself because I had the sound on the stream. All set now. So we're live.
We're live, and I did the same thing, so I am getting double audio.
Yeah, it tripped me out for a second. Where's that coming from? All right. So it looks like our runners are just about ready. Should be starting this race shortly.
Find the SRL so I could open it up and. But I am having a wonderful day. How are you, Ben?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you. Enjoying a nice lazy Sunday. Now you mentioned this is your first time doing comms on a randomizer race.
First time doing comms.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to do tracking. I gotta get that link.
SRL now. So this is the first match of round two for Oh Dear and Ddraig. Should be a good matchup. Both
Yeah,
of these runners participate in the Rando League.
I believe. Yeah, I believe so. And both of them have some fairly competitive any percent PBs. Both very skilled and talented runners. So this will definitely be a very entertaining match for us tonight.
It absolutely will. Spot space is the same. It should be going any second. I'm not sure if he is the SRL channel for the gates to drop yet.
Oh, the Vernon, you need to change the scene to the race one now, and then I think they'll start after that. There we go.
The
Perfect.
scene has just changed.
All right, I think yeah, that should be starting any second now. So Vernon, are you a racer in the SMRAT tournament?
I am. This is. I just started playing randomizer about a month ago, so it's been a very fun experience. I kind of got into it from watching some of the SMZ3 tournament, which is how I got introduced to Jay. Started watching a lot of randomizer and wanted to try it out myself.
Very good. Yeah, this is my first Super Metroid tournament that I've ever been involved in. Really looking forward to my first match. Should actually be on Tuesday versus Star Isms. Um,
Oh, and here we go.
yeah, we're off. Now, the first item has, it seems like, about a 50-50 chance of being Morph Ball or something else. If it's not Morph Ball, then the second item definitely is. All right, excuse me one moment.
There are four different first items that can be there. Either morph ball, high jump boots, ice beam, or space jump. Not sure on the audio. Let me get one of the streamers' audio going. Oh dear's audio. If anyone has any changes to the audio that you'd like, let me know and I can tweak that a little bit.
All right, so it looks like our first item is Ice Beam, And then Morph Ball
Excellent.
followed up shortly after that. We have Ddraig opting to turn off Ice Beam right away. That's a move that I definitely understand. It's one that I do myself. In my opinion, Ice Beam is the worst beam in the game. It's the only beam that turns your one-shot kills into two-shot kills.
Correct.
All right, and first power bombs
He'll be
being
going
at
for the D
first
boost. Oh, and
missiles.
actually, both of them will go for the D boost. Tank behind the wall to.
And both of our runners checking Billy Mays right away. It's a great check to be able to get out of the way right now. Billy Mays, the power bombs left of Morph Ball, and the retro Mother Brain items. They can be very inconvenient to have to come back for later. So it's always really nice to find power bombs before you go up the elevator back to Criteria.
I completely agree. It's nice to be able to check the item on the other side of Morph Ball as well, and then I like to check the area underneath Mother Brain before going back up and checking BT. So it's a nice find to get power bombs here in Retro Boomstack. Both runners have zero trouble getting up into Billy Mays and find super missiles and power bombs. What do you think will be our first major progression item then?
Major progression item. I guess that depends on your definition. But oh my goodness. All right. I'm sorry. This is kind of tough. I'm watching. All right. Go like this.
I guess my definition of that would be something that unlocks either Meridia or Rexship. Oh, and here we have high jump boots.
So, a very nice quality of life item, but not exactly a major progression. Unlocks a few locations that might not be available without it, but
And also makes several things easier. Some people prefer the climb with high jump boots. Some people prefer it without high jump boots. Wavegate room. Um, I think the general consensus is that high jump room or wavegate room is better with high jump boots, but I definitely have heard some people say that they.
yeah, it all depends on what you practice more, you know? Uh, Definitely, I got used to practicing the wavegate room without high jump boots, so could get that on first try pretty easily. And then I really struggled one time with high jump boots on. I actually turned the boots off so I could get it. But I definitely the wall jump up to the gauntlet way easier with high jump boots off.
I haven't
Obviously,
been able to get yet.
oh yeah, it's definitely a tough one. Um, Took me quite a while to learn it. The key is that you have to be holding right for just a couple of moments before you press the jump key, so that you're a little bit further away from the wall, and then you don't bonk your head. So both of our
A
runners
healthy
finding,
speed to start with.
yeah, very wholesome, healthy seed, very energetic.
Plan holding some additional E.
And Ddraig's making the way over to BT. I guess since they already have power bombs, this doesn't really have to be any kind of new progression item. Now, I believe
Correct.
this logic is designed in such a way so that if you don't have bombs, like by the time you go down to BT, then it's basically guaranteed to have bombs because Alcatraz will never be required.
Correct. Yeah, if you have not gotten either bombs or power bombs before BT, then BT is guaranteed to be one of those two.
But just to cap a tank at BT today. Oh dear, electing to grab it. Ddraig taking a pass on that since he's already got 3 E-tanks. Doesn't need a reserve tank for anything.
Look fun is power bombs and probably take a quick save. Yep, takes a save, and we'll see where he goes from here.
And
Maybe
now
gonna do the same.
I don't believe that their item set right now unlocks or puts Gauntlet in the logic, but they do have the minimum of 6 power bombs that you need to get in and out of Gauntlet. So we see Ddraig is making that. He also elects to turn off high jump boots for this wall jump. And it looks
And
like
oh dear is gonna go to the right.
Yeah.
Check the top of red tower maybe, or the moat.
So our first divergence happening pretty early here. And it does look like he's going for the moat first, just to take a peek at that item probably. Ooh.
Regular bombs there. It's always a kick in the pants when you down to Norfair and then come back up and find something like Various at the moat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that it's definitely I agree with that call there to make that early check out the moat.
Power bombs.
It's always nice to find bombs early. And yeah, it looked like just power bombs in the hand of the Chozo at Gauntlet. And Ddraig makes his way towards the back. Okay, no, I guess
is gonna go back, maybe check Gauntlet here and not go down to top of red tower.
Ddraig just finding ammo at the back of the Gauntlet. Still nice to find more super missiles at this early point in the race.
For sure. And his first missiles. Turning off the high jump boots and getting ready for Gauntlet.
Pro strats right there.
Heard you talk.
So Ddraig is making his way down to Green Brinstar. Going to be the first runner to check that out. I imagine we'll see a early supers mock ball to get to the Brinstar Reserve and 3 other item locations.
Now, since Oh Dear did pick up bombs, he could do an IBJ to get up to Gauntlet instead of doing this wall jump sequence.
This is true. Actually, does the bomb open up? Because they have 3 E-tanks too. So is it in logic now with the bombs?
Gauntlet would be in logic. The one thing I'm not sure about is the logic for the moat item.
Right. Well, I think the moat you can reach without any kind of items at all. No high jump boots, no speed boost. You can just jump right to it. But how about that though? Ddraig finding the Various suit at Brinstar Reserve.
The item underneath the crumble blocks there was grapple beam as well, so that opens up wreck ship.
Wow. So I wonder then if we might find speed boost over in wreck ship, because we know with Varia being locked behind speed boost, we won't see it anywhere inside of Norfair.
Correct.
Oh yeah, I'm tracking, aren't I? Now this opens up a pretty tough decision for Ddraig. You know, it's really arguably the most important decision in the game. Up red tower or down red tower.
Yeah, at this point, having gotten Ice Beam at the first item and then High Jump Boots pretty early on, going up Red Tower is a pretty easy move. I think that I would probably go up the wreck ship if I were him.
Yeah, and it is completely in logic too, like you said, with the ice beam to climb up the rippers in the red tower, the grapple to get across the moat. He is
He planted
likely
a check at Pink
find
Brand before we have to completely make that decision.
right, of course, and maybe even take a peek down in X-ray. Maybe not. It's a little bit out of the way, but not too bad.
The healthy seed continues with another E-Tank at Etacoons.
Taking good care of our runners here today. Opening up the opportunity for a stand-up glitch with that. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Ddraig found Charge Beam at the Etacoons.
Which I somehow missed that.
It's a big item to find this early in the game, because in these seeds you'll see a lot of runners pick up 70 super missiles, maybe even more, getting ready to just complete the seed without Charge Beam. So finding that this early in the game can really save you a lot of time on item fanfare from picking up ammo.
The exact timing, I saw someone say yesterday that it was 6.66 seconds per item.
Is it really?
I don't know if that's accurate or if someone was just memeing.
Yeah. Well, I know it is
It's
roughly. It's
somewhere in
right
the six
about
to seven
7.
second range. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think at the
It,
bottom of Pink Rim.
yeah, it's kind of like you said though about, doing Norfair and then finding various suit at the moat, picking up 70, 80 super missiles and then finding Charge Beam somewhere like Gauntlet if you skipped it.
Right,
Right, checking Gauntlet on your way to Mother Brain, and there it is.
more ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Seen that happen to at least one runner.
All right, Ddraig
There won't be
setting
any
up.
problem here with the amount of energy that everyone has.
Right,
It's the wave glitch on the first try. Excellent job.
as Oh Dear picks up his Charge Beam at the Edikun Z tank.
Check Spospo yet?
He has not. I believe he's trying to farm power bombs right now in order to do
He
that.
is zero power
Unfortunately,
bombs.
yeah, zero power bombs not a great place to be at, and he's just gonna skip Edikun or Spospo for now. Those
Unfortunately.
bugs in that little bucket or tube, they have a really low power bomb drop rate. So he could have
Ddraig
been
has
there
not
for a
picked up
while.
bombs yet, so that
Right.
that is not an option for him. There should be perfectly set on power bombs since he's picked up the bombs already. Hopefully for Ddraig that Spospo wasn't holding anything major.
Yeah.
Ddraig check the wave or the charge beam spot.
He did check charge beam. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was just ammo or an E-tank. It wasn't anything special.
I was just trying to keep track of how many items he had to abandon there.
Right. I think it's just the spore spawn item. Aside from obviously he doesn't have waterway. You can't get that yet. I think he just had to leave behind spore spawn. And Ddraig finding just a missile pack at X-ray. It's a long way to go for just a couple of missiles.
Yeah, but going to X-ray, he's able to farm up some fire fleas and get a few power bombs now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and now we're coming up to the big moment in the race of what does Ddraig do from here.
Does Spospo have anything that Ddraig left behind?
Right, that as well. Ddraig saying he's gonna take his various suit, go do Kraid and Norfair probably. And I get the feeling we might see O'Deer head to wreck ship. Spacer just has a missile pack for us. Ddraig says he doesn't need any more missile ammo.
Oh dear, doing the Spospo skip that I've not seen before. He's back. He's back about a couple less lengths than I normally see people do, but it worked for him.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That
That is not
is
good for Ddraig.
huge. That is not good for Ddraig. Yeah, there are a ton of different ways you can set up that Spospo skip. It seems to be a very lenient and forgiving glitch.
Yeah, it is. That's one of the first tricks that I learned once I started doing randomizer.
In Ddraig finding the best item in the game over at Kraid Power Bombs. Peepo SB.
I need to work on my spring ball tech. It, it hasn't quite proven to me to be the best item. It's one that I is too well yet.
Yeah, I'm just a crowd pleaser when I say stuff like that. I think Speed Boost is objectively the best item in the game.
Great.
But
Space jump. I typically go with as my best item just because it opens up so much for me.
yeah, it really does. But it can be quite a pain to use when you don't have high jump boots. It can be pretty annoying.
That's true.
Ddraig getting the stand up glitch, or excuse me, Kraid quick kill right away. Find some
Our
super
friend
missiles.
Amadeus likes to say he's an expert at the crate stand-up glitch.
Yeah, I'm not too bad at it either. Member of chat saying screw attack is the best item. Raises some good points there. Kills just about anything. Breaks bomb blocks. It is a fantastic item.
I cannot disagree with that either. With Varia gravity suit, that opens up a lot of options for Odeer. We'll have to see
Yeah, it
where he
really
goes.
does.
And he's heading down.
At least to check X-ray.
And
See, now for me, when I'm running these seeds, if I have speed boost at the point that Oh Dear is at right now, then 10 times out of 10, I go up Red Tower and clear out Wreck Ship right away. And then,
like I've seen a lot of people head down and go straight to Ridley with this much that Odeer has.
yeah, that is a pretty common strat as well. Kind of do um, go Ridley, Kraid, Dragon, Fantoon. As far as a routing perspective goes, in a way, there's a lot. Yeah, you could say that it makes the most sense to do it that way. But you could say the same for clearing wreck ship first as well, and then you
That's
can
true.
do Ridley, Kraid, and out of all the 4 bosses you have to kill, finishing off Dragon last is the boss that has you closest to G4 when that fight is over, with Fantoon being a very close second place.
Excellent point.
So Ddraig doing a sequence break with the mock ball over to Ice Beam.
And not finding anything good as a reward.
Yeah.
Know where gravity is. And we know that Speed Booster cannot be down here. So
Now it could
about
be,
the best thing that he could find at this point is Space Jump and Screw Attack or Plasma Beam.
could also find speed boost at high jump boots here. This is not Various Suit locked. And then one other item location in Norfair can be in Logic without Various Suit, and that is, oh, that's right, that's Bubble Mountain, but you have to
Locked
have,
without
yes,
Varia, so
exactly.
it cannot be Speed Booster.
That's correct. So this was the last location that it could have been, and it is not here. So yeah,
Here
that
we'll be getting the Spring Ball.
leaves
Great.
Wave Beam and Plasma, Screw Attack, and Space Jump as possible Norfair items.
So Ddraig will be heading to the Cathedral and exploring more of Norfair. He's going to be quite frustrated by the time he gets back to Spospo and finds that gravity. If he ever does, he could theoretically complete the game without gravity suit, but I'm not sure if he has the knowledge and skill to be able to do that.
Yeah, that full the gravity suitless lava dive is not too bad when you have high jump boots, but full clearing Meridia without gravity suit, it's very time consuming and not super easy either. They do
No,
have,
it's not, but he does have a lot of items that make it
he's got all,
significantly.
yeah, spring ball, ice beam, grapple, and high jump. That's as much as you could ask for a suitless Meridia. Finding Wave Beam at Bubble Mountain puts the
And
Wave Gate back in Logic, but there was nothing special behind there.
Screw Attack at the Bowl Mountain um, missiles.
Great item to have 20 minutes into the game for sure. At least any time before you've completed Lower Norfair. This is an item you will probably see every runner pick up if they haven't done Lower Norfair yet.
They are just finding all of the E-tanks here early in the game. There's been a lot found so far for only 25 minutes in.
Yeah, that's our 9th E-tank right there that Ddraig's picking up. Actually, maybe there's even more than that if they've skipped any.
So my guess would be that Speed Booster is in wreck ship at this point.
Yeah, that's got to make the
Of
most
course, it
sense. Spore
could be in
Spawn though,
Meridia.
right? Spore Spawn gravity suit that was in Logic very early on. Just doing the intended route to Spore Spawn. So we could see Speed Boost in Meridia.
Another E-tank, and at the Speed Booster locations.
Chat pointing out also Speed Boost could be in the top right power bomb spot at landing site, the criteria power bombs, with the bombs opening up the IBJ to get there.
And chat is discussing the location of Gravity Suit. It was at Sposco, so there was nothing in particular that was locking the Gravity Suit.
Right, Ddraig just skipped it because he wanted to go for the Spore Spawn skip, but ran out of bombs.
Yeah, ran out of power bombs and had not picked up bombs from the moat. Wave beam having some super missiles.
Ddraig thinking about it for a minute, contemplating whether or not he wanted to pick it up. He's got charge beam, but no plasma, so that does make the super missiles a little bit more tempting. Oh dear, doing a little bit of hesitation as well at speed booster, turning around, then deciding to go back and grab the super missiles.
Yeah, 35 is a little bit low for heading into the Ridley fight. Ridley, I would assume that they would be planning on doing a super missile kill of Ridley at this point, rather than trying to do a charged ice wave combo. Ddraig is heading towards Lower Norfair potentially.
It sure looks like it to me. After already clearing wave beam, there's nothing else he could be coming here for. Did he take a save in Bubble Mountain? I don't believe so.
No choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, with the high
Copy,
jump
maybe.
boots, this lava dive is not too bad, but anything can go wrong when you're swimming in
Ooh,
lava
and gets it on
surrounded
the
by
first
Nama
try.
hills.
Excellent job. Uh, plenty of energy, plenty of super missiles for Ridley. There won't be much of value. Potentially plasma or air, but we know that gravity, bombs, and speed booster cannot be done here.
That's correct. Ddraig struggling a little bit to get that green gate glitch. Does pull it off after about a dozen shots after the 12th first try. And what are we going to find at Golden Chorizo? At Screw Attack, we just have super missiles. And see, this is why in this logic, in the randomizer league, you can go check what's at Screw Attack and then make your way out of there. But in the SMRAT seed, you can have major items be at the other two GT items. And so for that reason, I like to save at the top of Lower Norfair so that when I go and check GT, if I find nothing, I can just reset instead of having to fight GT.
That's an excellent point, but with only having 15 supers, 15 missiles as a maximum, and currently 8 in his inventory, we'll get to see the situation on GT where he only shoots out the spore bombs, arm those up as well while he's fighting GT. That happens
This
anytime that you are under 30 missiles in your inventory.
I just learned something new, something pretty important too. I've been in a situation like this before, and I could not figure out what was the manipulation that I needed to do to get those refill.
It's not a super common thing. I learned it watching some SMZ3 back a couple of months ago, and I've kind of been spreading the word on that, and several people have appreciated that information. So I'm happy to spread the news on that.
Yeah, it's definitely a very handy thing to know. Save you lots of time on a GT fight if you're just unloading your supers on GT and got 50 missiles in your inventory, wondering why you can't get that refill that you always see people do.
Yeah.
Ddraig trying to figure out how to get out of this screw attack room.
We
And
have
oh dear, makes his way
both
up the
runners
worst room.
trying some difficult wall jumps here, and oh dear gets up worst room in the game before
Now
Ddraig is able to GT escape.
the worst room in the game is definitely a significantly easier wall jump to do than the screw attack room if you have high jump boots. It's pretty much frame perfect without high jump boots in worst room, but then impossible in screw attack. But it looks like Ddraig's going for the infamous spring ball jump to get out. Yet another reason that I like to save at the top of LN.
And another reason that many people say that spring ball is the best item in the game, because the spring ball jump opens up so many different things.
But yeah, to respond to chat, oh dear did check several items in Bubble Mountain. Checked speed boost and wave beam, but did not get the wave beam out of Bubble Mountain nor the screw attack out of Norfair Reserve. And yeah, spring ball jump is absolutely great movement tech to know, especially for suitless Meridia. Can save you from the horrible, painful crab climb that I refuse to do.
Sentiment from people as well.
Ddraig might start panicking a little bit if he can't get this spring ball jump soon. Can definitely get in your head. He has not saved in quite some time, if at all. So he has got to land this jump and get out of here. He's going to be in some big trouble. Firing out some missiles in frustration.
Oh man.
I feel your pain, man. Wow.
At this Ddraig.
If he had speed boost, he could do a little bit of a run and jump from the refill room right there. But that is a speed boost and high jump required trick.
Ridley is turning pretty red here for oh dear.
Yeah,
Should be
that
down
fight's
pretty
just
quickly.
about over. And that is the thing
Out of
too
that
about
pogo sequence, then he might be ready to pick up oh dear.
Yep, Zen as right as well. You could charge up a shine spark in the GT room if you had speed. Oh, and Ddraig gets it. All right. GG. Right as oh dear finishes up the Ridley fight. Well done to both runners.
And will he check the Ridley item? Open for plasma or space jump, probably.
Finds nothing.
Four more items to check on the way out of Lower Norfair, and I would assume head towards Meridia and the fight with Dragon next.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll probably see, if we don't find any other movement items, we might see some gravity jumps up Mount Everest.
The ice clip in the Batoon if we don't find the speed booster before then.
That's right. Ice clip on the Mach Droid. A pretty easy trick to learn. Definitely very beginner friendly for anyone interested in sequence breaking Dragon and Batoon without speed. Now
in the amphitheater and climbing up through there with screw attack makes that quite a bit easier.
Mm-hmm. Having screw attack does make it quite a bit easier, and it is a pretty easy room in general, but it still always makes me really nervous being in there without gravity. You get caught in that acid, it can be quite difficult to make it out alive.
Yeah, and I've had it before where I landed in the wrong spot and got trapped underneath one of the bottom platforms, and that was quite difficult to quickly scramble and maneuver out of there, and then start the climb.
Yeah, one wrong step, it could all be over. Now our runner's doing a little bit of a high five there in the wasteland a few moments ago. Oh dear, skipping the fire flea item. He might be getting ready to go mode this. Either that or just completely understanding he can't find speed boost in lower Norfair.
And doesn't check prism either.
I do like this call, coming to check this item here. It is a very quick check. A lot faster to check that item than to go down and see the fire fleas. Also checking the item at Three Musketeers. Striking out on both accounts though. An SMRAT stands for Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament. Do we have a Nightbot prompt
I
for
don't know.
that?
I don't believe there is a command for that.
We
Actually,
do.
yes, there is.
Nice.
It was a tournament that was designed for
Oh
beginning runners.
no.
Oh, dear, takes a death there. 300.
Wow.
I got distracted by my kids there for a second.
Yeah, what happened? Wow, that's...
See how far that sets them back. And he's really thinking here for quite a while. Way early. Hasn't even checked Gauntlet yet. Boy, that is a big setback.
Yeah, that hurts. That absolutely hurts. The Three Musketeers. That is no joke, man. It's not the first time I've seen a run end there.
That really hurts.
Yeah.
The one silver lining is that he knows where everything is and knows where that gravity suit is, which Ddraig still does not know. In the SRL channel, Udir just says, "Hmm."
What else can you say to that? Man, that's got hurt. He had a pretty sizable lead before that as well. Well,
Again
the
for
others...
Ddraig, Ridley is looking quite red.
Yeah, and that finishes the fight right there. The other silver lining in this instance as well is that all the races in this tournament are best out of 3. So it's not single loss elimination. This isn't over. Even if Oh dear doesn't win this race, there's still at least one more race for both of these runners.
Though when you're in a definitely outweighted matchup, like I found myself in for my first 2 rounds, and you just kind of suffer through knowing that there's not a whole lot of hope for either of the two matchups in that round as well. But no, it's fun. I've definitely enjoyed practicing and playing in the randomizer tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's overall it's a lot about the learning experience for a lot of us here. A lot of us newer runners, this is about learning and growing in Super Metroid together.
Yeah,
But
that's
we can also have some fun in the non-winners bracket.
the common terminology has been the alternative winners bracket.
Alternative winners bracket.
So O'Deer's going back for charge beam at the Edicoons. Edicoons E-Tank. I'm assuming they will not go all the way down and around, but probably just jump back over the hole there, and that's what O'Deer does. Death. We were talking about the SMRAT name and what it means. So the Randomizer Accessible Tournament was a tournament that was set up by JChalk for introducing new runners into the randomizers and trying to make it very accessible. So the only tricks that are in Logic are infinite bobbing drum, but only in spots where a full charge is available, and wall jumps that are rated not too difficult according to the Varia randomizer website. So if anyone is interested in trying out a randomizer and you haven't done it before, on the Varia randomizer webpage, there is a SMRAT preset and skill set. Those in, it will generate a randomized seed for you that will give you this logic and let you try it out.
Yeah, I think that is a great thing about this tournament and these seeds on this Logic. I said it's very, very beginner friendly. I do remember the first randomizers that I ever tried. It was several seeds rolled before I actually found one that I could complete. A lot of the logic out there just requires some pretty advanced tech, and the SMRAT only requires basically intended strats other than the infinite bomb jump.
Not to say that put yourself into a situation where you can be stuck in the SMRAT logic. I've accidentally done that a couple of times with 0 power bombs that requires either bombs or power bombs to get out, or a couple other situations. So it's not you can't put yourself into a unescapable situation as well.
Now, this is pretty interesting here. So Ddraig taking down Crocomire, but what's really interesting me is that oh dear skipped gravity suit at Spore Spawn. Now I wonder if he might be getting a little bit mixed up and confused because we saw him check the Wavegate item, which only had missiles, and then skipped Spore Spawn super missiles, which had gravity.
And then checked Spazer Beam, which only had missiles. So they might have forgotten where they got the gravity suit.
Now, to be fair, it's a lot of stuff to keep track of, especially since when you play this, you don't ever plan on dying, and so you're not telling yourself like, oh, okay, I gotta remember where everything was so that I can come back and get it later when I die. You only need to keep track of item locations in order to follow where the logic could be putting other items, like that we knew that speed boost wouldn't be in Norfair. So it is very easy to go back through and play the same seed that you've been playing and not have a clue where anything is.
That is for sure. And I think he lost around 20-25 minutes. So there were a lot of checks in between then and now as well. But also what I was going to say is, considering considering the location of area being speed locked, it's quite interesting that Ddraig is checking this croc area, presumably looking for either speed or gravity.
Right. I
But
would imagine the gravity, 'cause he still doesn't know where that is. But yeah, it's also though it's very easy to lose track of the logic. And he very well could be looking for speed in Norfair right now.
one very important thing to remember if you are going to skip logic is to kind of keep track of what you got behind those logic breaks, so that you're not going looking for things that couldn't possibly be in a location that's out of logic. I think breaking logic is great, but some of those mental reminders are quite important as well. Anything behind Croc, so I was going to do a reset. I believe they saved there at the Croc farming location.
Did he check sine wave?
It was just missiles.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh dear finishes off Kraid. Slowly making his way back to where he was.
Ddraig is done with the crate area now and pretty much done with all of Norfair, so we'll be going up somewhere, either potentially trying um, the suitless media. We'll have to see which direction they go. Ddraig does break the glass and is heading into Meridia. Yes, Smoky, Wave was at Bubble Mountain, and Ddraig got it. Did not on their first pass. We'll see if they check it on this pass through, but I would assume that they probably will not.
Ddraig's going to be showing off for us a suitless Meridia tech, which includes the much, much, much easier underwater spring ball jumps. It's really a great place to learn your first spring ball jumps instead of the GT screw attack room.
Yeah, Ben, do you want to talk about how the spring ball tech works a little bit so that people
Yeah.
can understand why it's easier underwater?
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. How to do it is that you need to make a jump up and morph as the pause menu is coming up. So you basically press jump, press pause, and then morph before the pause menu is up, and then with spring ball off. Then as long as you still have upward momentum when you unpause, if you turn spring ball on, don't exactly understand all the technical side of it, but the game gets confused and it applies a spring ball jump in the middle of the air, wherever you are when you unpause. So you just have to jump and morph in midair with spring ball off and get the pause in before while you still have upward momentum. And that's just a lot easier underwater because underwater you have slowed down acceleration and slowed down deceleration. So basically, that gives you more airtime for your jumps. You fall slower, which just gives you a lot more leniency with the upward momentum. But Ddraig, just giving us a little tease of the suitless Meridia, just using it to
just check the 2 items
yeah.
for Main Street missiles and crab supers. We'll check top of red tower now. 2 items yet from either runner. Booster
It could be.
or space jump.
Yeah, we had wave beam. Oh, there's space jump right behind alpha power bombs.
Probably not exactly what they were looking for, but it will help.
Yeah, nothing to stick their nose up at. Always a nice item to have. But yeah, not quite the item that we were looking for. Oh dear, going through pretty much making all the same plays that he made before, with the exception of grabbing gravity suit. But pretty much taking just about the exact same route. And it looks like Ddraig's having a little bit of a coffee break here while that long fanfare plays out.
It's a little bit more than the 6.66 seconds.
Oh, and oh dear takes a peek at the Bubble Mountain super missiles, finds a wave beam there. He's
Smoky
going for
Deppy.
it. Mm-hmm.
Runners will be Smoky Belly.
Yeah, do a Super Metroid randomizer seed, and everything is vanilla except for fanfare times.
Interesting randomizer option to have randomized fanfare times.
Well, Ddraig really striking out in Red Tower, aside from the space jump, which just really is more of a convenience than anything else at this point. Not finding anything else useful in Red Tower. But oh
Here gets the
dear,
screw attack this time
yeah,
around.
getting both items that he missed out the first time through Norfair.
Still skipping the gravity at Spore Spawn, which is still quite interesting. I don't know where that was. Ddraig sees the bombs and skips right over them at the moat.
Skipping over the wet missiles as well. Hoping maybe he'll find gravity and wreck ship, and then he can check wet missiles on the way back maybe. But we know that's not going to happen. With the
Man,
gravity suit at Spore Spawn.
interesting if that wet missiles ended up being Speed Booster.
I'm telling you, I really think. Well, of course, it doesn't mean anything for me to say that now. We've checked every other item location just about. But I really thought from what we were seeing pretty early on, I had a feeling we'd find Speed Boost in Wreck Ship. I noticed this
Yeah, I was
logic
too.
likes to do a lot of double dipping, you know?
But things were looking quite good there for a little while. Definitely for O'Deer finding the gravity suit at Spore Spawn. He had the Varia suit, the Brinstar Reserve. Yeah, that death has been a definite game changer and brought Ddraig definitely into the lead at this point.
Yeah, with a pretty comfortable lead too. Lower Norfair is quite an endeavor. If not for any reason other than the escape. It's the longest escape in the game. You do if you fight Ridley last, it takes a couple of minutes to get up to G4.
But
Maybe,
it's about the same amount of time that Ddraig's going to spend searching Rick's ship as well.
yeah, that's true. That is true. Ddraig still does not know where gravity is, and it looks like he's really maybe going to be counting on it for clearing Meridia. So we could see quite an item hunt go on here, especially if he doesn't remember skipping Spore Spawn, which is very easy to forget.
That is definitely true.
And
And speed booster in Rick's ship here, then that opens up a couple additional checks as well.
right now, if he does find Speed Booster pretty soon, that may help him out quite a bit because he might come back for Waterway. And
Correct.
on his way to Waterway, he could take a look at the map and see, oh my god, I never did Spore Spawn.
He doesn't remember at this point either.
Oh dear makes his way
Need to
back to
check
Pink
with that.
Brinstar to go get the gravity suit at Wave Beam. Or, excuse me, at Spore Spawn. So I guess we'll never really know then. Why did he skip it that first time through? I know he had enough supers and enough power bombs. So pretty
Regular
interesting.
bombs.
Yeah, and regular bombs, that's right.
I'm assuming that he must have forgotten. Maybe we can ask in a post-race interview if we get the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Maybe it clicked for him after he cleared through Norfair.
Ddraig heading over towards
Ddraig,
the wreck ship reserve,
also known
or
as
excuse
the
me, wreck ship E-tank.
yeah, also known as the spiky room of life.
Yeah, I know. I believe it's Cheese Reaver likes to refer to it as the pointy room of life if you make it through, and the spiky room of death if you fail to make it through.
Now, this is another one of those checks that I like to save before I go check. For one, because of obvious reasons with the spiky room of death, and then two, also though, if you find nothing at the wreck ship E tank, it is a little bit of a time save to be able to just reset and go back to the save. Ultimately, think it ends up being just about equal though, including the time that you have to use to save. So I guess if I had 9 tanks in various suit, I would probably just go for it. But if I'm ever completely suitless or low on energy tanks, you bet I'm going to be saving.
Well, aside from the time benefit, or I mean, the time question of whether it's faster or not, you're more than likely to lose some health going through there. So if you are able to reset, then that brings back a little bit of your health as well. So,
Yeah.
big fan of saving before going in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really risky room.
Clearing out the attic of the enemies. We'll open the
Easy to
left
do with
door
screw
and
attack.
door to check out the robot room.
Now, in the attic of Wreck Ship, this is a neat little tech that most of our runners know. In order to unlock any of the doors in the attic, you have to clear all the enemies. You have to kill all the guys in there. Now, once you do, the gray doors will be flashing gray and blue, which means that they're unlocked. But in order to keep it unlocked, you have to open it before you leave the room. So they open the door on the left side, then they move and check the right side room. and that leaves the left side door unlocked, where it wouldn't have been had they not shot it open. They would have had to kill everybody again.
Just finds missiles at the attic location. To the wreck ship reserve location yet at this point. We'll check it with spring ball. And it's just a reserve tank. Shots fired at Energetic from Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And as we expected, Ddraig not. Oh, there is the
There it
booster
is. The moment we've all been waiting for.
area. What will they do? They still have the volcano area to check, as well as potentially climb supers and waterway. Not much else they can do other than those and Spore Spawn, where gravity is. Order Ddraig takes to check those items.
Yeah, Ddraig has done pretty much a full clear of this seed. There is also the criteria power bombs, which is easy to check. The landing site power bombs, which is easy to
Yeah,
check now, especially with space jump and speed boost.
and
It's
by
just about
the
remembering.
volcano. I know
Oh,
it's
oh, oh, okay. Yep.
has named that room volcano, so I've adopted that one.
Very nice.
Smokey's been working on some more interesting names for the rooms that are just referred to by their location and item. Volcano is one of those, and I'm not exactly sure which room in Red Ship. One of the rooms here, I believe, is the actor room. So, I definitely applaud Smokey for trying to come up with some unique options for those.
Volcano is the room to it's the landing site power bombs, the criteria power bombs. Reactor is East Side Supers, but I didn't come up with that one. Personally, I can barely keep up when we call the rooms by what they are. But nicknames are nice. But that's pretty much what I'm usually bound to do, is to say criteria, Brinstar, the item name, or something about the room that's. Well, here we have Ddraig checking volcano now. As O'Deer enters the Ridley fight, and we just find missiles in volcano. Very common for this room to not really have anything, but hey, do you know what? We still haven't seen either plasma or gravity. Or excuse me, or spacer. And there's just not a lot of item locations left. We forgot about the criteria super missiles though at the climb, which is completely illogic right now with speed boost and ice beam.
But Ddraig is not heading down that way. To Green Brinstar. And then presumably over to Force Spawn and Waterway.
Oh dear, finishes the Ridley fight once more.
You have to defeat Ridley twice. Well, I will try and adjust the timers there. Sorry, everyone.
right. We just have the minutes without the hour mark. All right, Ddraig getting warmer, passing the gravity suit on the way to waterway. Thinks, oh, okay, that was an interesting little jump. I think it clicked for Ddraig, though, that he did not check Spore Spawn yet. I was getting a little worried for him for a second when I saw him just go right past it, but based on that little hesitation reaction, I think he's going to be heading right to Spore Spawn after this check, which he gets poor man's plasma at Waterway, takes a look at it, shakes his head, says, no thank you. So, do you know what? Seeing that complete disrespect to Spazer, I hope he never finds plasma. That's just how I feel about people who turn their nose up at Spazer when they don't have plasma. I
Yeah, I
would
would
be
have thought
happy
that
to see
Spazer
them.
or Plasma would have been a happy sight to see for both runners.
I would, when I see someone turn their nose at Spazer like that, I want to see them fighting Mother Brain with 300 charge shots. Ddraig does remember the item he forgot to check, and what have we got here? Gravity
That
suit puts Ddraig in
be feeling
full-blown
very
go mode.
behind.
Yeah, little does he know how far ahead he is right now.
Sorry, everyone. I am still working on timers. I got interrupted slightly by my kids.
Yeah, Swap, you are right. This is still fairly close. Ddraig just ahead by a wrecked ship, basically. And it all depends on how O'Deer wants to do this. If he just considers himself to be in go mode right now, then he could definitely make up some time just going straight to Dragon is straight to Fantoon, skipping the rest of the item checks in these areas. And look at that sink.
Has speed booster at this point, and oh dear, will most likely not be getting it.
Yeah, and Speed Booster really does save a lot of time in Meridia. And Ddraig is actually in go mode, so unless he wants to look for Plasma, which I don't know if he does, but
Yeah, a little bit short on ammo. If he's wanting to do just a straight ammo, and does not, skipped over Spazer and does not have Plasma at this point. So
and Swap is right, considering the circumstances of this race and when O'Deer took the death and how far that set him back. O'Deer really has made up a lot of the time that he lost. This is a very close race, all things considered. Here's that Mock Droid ice clip we were talking about earlier on O'Deer's side. You just have to stand up against that pipe there with the Mock Droid following you. Let the Mock Droid latch onto you while you are crouched. Then press L and R at the same time to make Samus look straight up while still in the crouched position. And shoot to freeze the Mock Droid. Then after that, all you have to do is jump and press down in rather quick succession so that you can crouch jump onto the Moctroid, basically. And then that'll allow you to kind of clip your way through the crumble blocks that you are only supposed to be able to fall down through, not climb up.
Yeah, it's very similar to the clip that you can do in Wreck Ship, and also I believe somewhat similar to the ice clip going over to Shack Tool, if I'm not mistaken. Much more of a precise timing, from what I've heard. I have
Yeah,
not been able to
the
do that
Shack
one
Tool
myself.
one, the Shack Tool one is a lot more difficult, but yes, it's essentially the same concept. And
Oh
chat
dear
pointing
ran
out
out of supers in the Batoon fight, but had charge beam, so I was able to finish Batoon off.
Batoon being the worst enemy in the game. That's just objective fact. It cannot be argued against. It's falsifiable, and it has been proven to be true. Batoon is the worst. Yeah, BT is pretty tough, but at least he's got a consistent hitbox. That's a weird way to pronounce red key hunters.
Ddraig doing a combination of different attacks, ammo, and shine sparks here for Dragon fight.
Once I learned the rain dance strategy for Dragon, it quickly became like easily my favorite boss fight in the game. I really enjoy. Now you get some bad luck sometimes, but I have a lot of fun every time I come up to the Dragon fight, as long as I have speed boost. And if I have wave beam and charge as well, that adds to the fun. All right, Ddraig finishes off Dragon, heads right for the door. Not looking for plasma or anything else. I imagine we're going to see him go straight to G4.
And didn't even check the items, so they are in full go mode and heading to Arian.
Oh dear, going for the easiest strat to do when you don't have speed boost. Getting gooped by Dragon so that he can electrocute him with the grapple up against the, I don't know what that is, laser turret. Only
Yep, we
finding
have
super
fried shrimp on
missiles.
the menu tonight, everyone.
Fried shrimp. That's right. Not to be confused with the microwave shrimp.
Just sounds so delicious.
Ooh, and oh dear does the a gravity jump to get out of the Dragon room. Also, really pretty simple tech for beginners to do. Pretty fun, and it makes it possible to do Meridia and the Ridley lava climb without all of the intended items. You just press pause before you start a jump, because when you press pause, it takes a couple of seconds for the pause to actually happen and the menu to come up. So you press pause, and right before the menu comes up, you start a jump. Then you go over to your item menu and turn off gravity. And like I said earlier, being underwater without gravity suit, you have slowed down acceleration, but also slowed down deceleration. So when you unpause with gravity off, you already have all of the acceleration from the jump that you started with gravity suit, but now you don't have the deceleration that you would have with gravity that brings you back down so quickly. So you gotta just fly up to the top of the room pretty quickly.
Definitely a
Just,
useful trick to pick up.
Yeah, unless you jump extraordinarily high underwater.
So now
Oh
we see
man,
Oh Dear heading over and taking the reverse Forgotten Highway, it looks like.
this is something you don't see very much. Now, without having speed boost, this might be the faster route. I mean, if Odier's doing it, I'm imagining it actually is. It's definitely not faster if you have speed boost. Then you can
Or
just go
Space
back.
Jump for that matter as well.
Right, right.
Because then you could just go up to the red fish and make your choice with the red fish and continue on from there.
Right, without speed boost or redfish, excuse me, speed boost or space jump to get to the ponkfish room, you would either have to do an infinite bomb jump, a grapple climb, or a gravity jump. And these are all, that's menu time and or bomb jump timing. It all takes some time. This way actually is faster given Oh Deer's current item set.
Ddraig is facing their first Metroids after passing the G4 room.
With ice beam, plenty of supers, all of the movement items. This will be pretty easy for Ddraig. Does get latched on by one of the Metroids in the second room. Fortunately, also has plenty of power bombs to deal with that. Um, Very fortunate to have plenty of power bombs, considering that he found bombs and skipped it. I guess he could
Yeah,
always
for
just
sure.
go back out the way he came and reset the room. But man, gets latched on again.
Now,
And
depending on the drops that he gets for super missiles, you might see him switch over to missiles here at the end just to save those couple of supers, since you can refill missiles but not supers here in terrain.
Ddraig latched on 3 out of 3 rooms, 3 out of 4 rooms.
Back up to full supers there at the end.
Yeah, so without having Plasma or Spazer, we'll definitely see him pumping some super missiles into Mother Brain. It is faster damage per second than Charge Ice Wave. Now, if you
For
had
sure.
full beam combo, it actually is faster damage per second to just use your charge beam shots as opposed to super missiles, but pretty much any other beam combination you're going to want to
He
use
is
space.
setting up to try the baby skip here. Let's see if he can do that.
Goes for the baby skip
Yeah,
instead. And oh dear, lands 2 X Factor shots in a row on Fantoon. That was a really clean Fantoon fight. I think I wasn't exactly paying attention to the whole thing, but I think that was a 2 cycle, which is very impressive.
some wave. They should be able to do the Z skip if they know how.
Yep.
Assume that they know how.
Having Wave Beam and Ice Beam is the easiest setup for the Zeb skip. It is possible to do it without either of those if you have Speed Boost, but it's a little bit more tricky. It requires some more precise timing.
I don't know the exact tech, but I believe it's at least a 3 tap for the speed Z
Yeah.
skip.
Yep. Stutter 3 tap. Otherwise, without the stutter, I imagine it would probably be a 4 tap.
And enters the fight Mother Brain 2 with 40 super missiles. So we'll use those first. Well, actually, I may use down to 15 and go to charge until catch up, and then finish off the fight with super missiles. We'll have to see how they handle it.
It shouldn't
And
be.
that looks like exactly what Ddraig will be doing.
You called it. Optimal strats.
yeah, the ketchup beam comes in towards the end of the fight, and that will have enough to finish off Mother Brain 2 and bring in the baby and the rainbow beam. Having skipped over, it was Ddraig that skipped over Spazer, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Oh dear, never came across Spazer.
And that was at Waterway.
Yes. Oh dear,
Uh,
never got speed boost to check Waterway.
Having skipped over Spazer, it's a good number of charged ice wave shots, but gets into the catch up and then
What
gets
is going on? Oh, okay.
he turned off Various
D-
suit apparently. I did
yeah,
not see him do that.
Ddraig tried to go for the stand-up glitch, but that requires at least 701 health, and he got down to, I think he was at like 669. So when you're under 100 health after that first rainbow beam, you can't get Samus to stand back up, so you can't do stand-up glitch.
But makes a good choice since they already had the Various suit off to just leave it off and stay between 6 and 700 so that it's just the one rainbow shot and straight into the.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe that's just what he was trying to do all along. So then that way he didn't have to, go down through 400 health running into Mother Brain's knee.
And this cutscene here is why Super Metroid is my all-time favorite game. It
Yeah,
completely wraps up the entire storyline of the game, and it's just a great piece of lore of why the game, why Samus is here and why the Metroid saves and refills them. And it just wraps everything up very nicely. It's quite sad, but story.
I absolutely agree. Super Metroid is not only a super fun and engaging game to play, but it does also have really great lore, fantastic story behind it all. But more importantly, it's just super fun to play.
That's also true. Also a big component to go with it.
All right, Ddraig finishes up his Mother Brain 3 fight. Now just has 3 minutes of in-game time to make the escape out of Torian and Zeb's. Should not expect to see any problems here. Speed boost, high jump, screw attack as well. It's about as easy as this escape can get. Oh, that's right. It still has screw attack off from the Zeb skip, but all the same. And oh dear, gets a Zeb skip on his first try as well. Does require turning off screw attack to do this trick. But the menu time of turning off screw attack is a small price to pay for the time saved. Oh,
Similar Mother Brain fight, but pretty much going into
Ddraig
Mother Brain 2.
having a little bit of trouble with that climb spark. Doesn't get it on the first try. Goes back for a second shot at it and goops into the platform. Just goes for the left
Pretty
side.
low on health, decides to go for the wall jumps and get out of the acid.
Yeah, that was pretty close compared to what you normally see in an escape. But he makes it out
Over
just
the
fine.
animals and heads to the ship.
And Ddraig finishes off the race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 44 seconds. GG to Ddraig.
Yes, agreed. GG Ddraig.
It looks like Oh Dear is also using the same strat, using all but 15 of the super missiles for the first phase of Mother Brain 2, then using the last 15 to clear off the second phase once the catch-up starts.
And Ddraig has declined an interview. Apparently, they lately and are not able to communicate too well on a voice chat, so they will be skipping out on an interview today.
Fair enough.
And you can see Ddraig's comment there in the chat. So Ddraig, if you haven't had a chance, the main difference was on after fighting Ridley and defeating Ridley and doing the Lower Norfair escape. Odir died and was set back about 25 minutes. So
Yeah,
it was
took a death to the Three Musketeers coming out of Lower Norfair.
that was the major difference in this race.
Yeah, that death happened close to 40 minutes into the race, somewhere right around there, and set him back all the way to basically the save right before the first gauntlet check. That was quite a setback there. And Oh Dear finishes a Mother Brain 2 fight, finishes the baby thump cutscene.
So now we get to see where Plasma Beam was, and it was looks like at the aqueduct.
Pink Meridia missile. It looks, and X-ray Dragon missiles as well.
So Mother Brain is down for Oh Dear, and they begin their escape. Pretty shortly. They don't have speed booster, so it will be a little bit slower.
A wild child appears. Oh Dear doing the last moonfall in the game. Coming down this last room in Turian.
About that, my son just got a Nintendo DS for his birthday yesterday, and
How
is
exciting.
waiting for me to be able to play with him. So
Almost there. Man, and Oh Dear messes up the climb spark as well. Has to do the left side wall climb.
Oh
Two
Dear
for
didn't.
two.
Oh Dear doesn't have the speed booster,
Oh,
so they weren't able to
that's,
do that.
yeah, that's right. I said that's right, Swap. Chat's always just waiting for someone to say something wrong, ready to pounce.
Well, Swap has to get his revenge in when he can because he makes so many mistakes that people are always there pouncing on him.
That's right. It's just got to take every win he can get. It's just what you got to do in your Swap.
And GG to Oh Dear.
Yeah, finishing with an SRL time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 51 seconds. GG indeed.
Love swap.
Absolutely.
And Swap will be offering an interview to Oh Dear. Let's see if there's any response to that. I believe we have time for a potential interview.
Hello. Oh dear.
Hello. Hey.
Congratulations and GG.
Well, thank you. It was rather disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely. That Ridley death had to feel terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I was on a.
Yeah,
It felt
sorry.
like I went a good route, and then I panicked at the Three Musketeers. Can't put it any more nicely. Just panicked.
So, can you tell us
A difficult room.
after that death, when you made your way back through green and pink Brinstar?
Yeah. I
Did
know
you?
what you're about to ask.
All right.
Yes.
So
Yes, I
go
had
ahead.
completely forgotten where gravity was.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was at Wave, but no, didn't find it there. So then I only knew it was one of the rooms that I entered from the left. So yeah, completely blanked out there.
Yeah, just decided after checking wave, just decided you move on and come back after it clicked.
Yeah, I mean, it was the next room that came into my mind with that kind of exit or entry. So
Yeah.
it was pretty dumb. I have that problem in general. Like in interviews, when people ask me, "Well, how was it when you found X?" Well, I have no idea where that was. It's
Oh yeah.
usually how it goes for me.
I'm absolutely the same way. I can barely, keep track of it enough just to keep in line with the logic. But I mean, once I get an item, then I basically forget all about it.
Yeah,
And I estimated it was about 25 minutes later that you ended up redoing some of those checks. So
yeah,
there were lots of checks to in between as well.
yeah. I was about to, like, right when I died, I wanted to forfeit right there, but then
We
I
saw you.
like I put myself like in the situation of a viewer, and whenever I view a match like this, I want the person to continue because you never know what the other runner is doing. He could have had the same trouble, and I guess I caught up sometime at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the major time difference there was that Ddraig did not, they didn't have power bombs enough to check spawn on their first pass through,
Oh,
and didn't want to do the spore spawn fight. And they hadn't picked up bombs at the moat like you had. So they ended up pretty much last locationing their gravity suit. They checked
yeah.
all of Lower Norfair, all of Norfair, and wreck ship before going back and getting gravity suit.
Yeah, it always feels bad when you are in an area and you have to leave a location unchecked. That feels so bad. So I can imagine how Ddraig felt there.
yeah, absolutely. And it's always disconcerting too because when I'm leaving an unchecked room, I'm just wondering to myself, am I gonna remember this later?
Yeah, and especially in these full randos, there are so many rooms that you can potentially miss. Like
Yeah, the
if you're
full
short, like if you're short on
randomizers.
power bombs, yeah, it just can be really bad.
And that is something that can happen a lot in the pink Brinstar, and especially if you don't get to check blue Brinstar and Billy Mays. You can get through that area and leave behind, potentially 6 or 7 item locations.
Yeah, like it always feels slow when you do all the checks in the beginning, but I think it ends up being the better choice instead of like looping all around over and over again and running out of power bombs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and these
we
seeds are
discussed
usually pretty
that.
stacked early on.
And speaking of that, we found a lot of items early, so I imagine you were feeling pretty good before that death. Do you have any comments on that, Woodier?
Yeah, like I was pretty like when I just had found Varia, I was about to go to Law and Warfare anyway, even without gravity, because I had like 30 supers that would have been enough, and yeah, with high jump and Varia is all you need for Law and Warfare and some kind of damage. So I felt pretty confident that I could at least go an efficient route with Law and Warfare, or well, Crate, then Law and Warfare, then Meridia, and then Fine Tune, because that's the fastest route in theory if you have the best item combinations.
Right, the route with the least amount of backtracking.
Exactly, least elevator rides, least backtracking. It's just
Mhm.
very convenient to run like that. I think that's where the logic breakers among the SMRAT participants have a slight advantage. Because
Yeah,
if you don't,
absolutely.
if you're not like restricted by logical barriers, let's call it like that, you can route pretty crazy in this game.
Yeah, I mean, and if you are restricted by logical barriers, a lot of these seeds end up, you look back at it, what was required via the logic, and it's almost always like a double dip into wreck ship, triple dip into Meridia, all kinds of back and forth nonsense required if you go strictly by the logic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I still feel good about it in the end because I was playing the second attempt well, much better than the first one. So I guess I can take that away for the next match.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were absolutely right to stick with it and keep trying because it's never over until it's over. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
And we appreciate you being a good sport too and keeping the show up for the viewers.
yeah, no problem.
Vernon, do you have any further questions or comments?
No, I don't believe so. Anything you'd like to add, Odeer?
Yeah, no, I'm I'm done for today.
Well, thank you so much.
Ddraig, have your next matchup scheduled yet?
We have not scheduled it yet. It will probably be sometime like some Europe evening time during the week. We will find something shortly.
Well,
Look forward
later,
to that.
yeah, later tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern, so in 15 minutes, we have Scotty 6 versus Cross Product, and then Nidorific versus Fuzda at 9 o'clock after that. To all of our viewers.
And I
But
don't believe we've said it yet during this match. So if you like what you saw, make sure you follow the runners, Odeer and Ddraig. They put on an excellent show for us today.
And thanks, guys, for the commentary, as always,
yeah,
and the
absolutely.
restreaming.
Thank you for the race.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Anything else you'd like to add, Ben?
No, I don't think so. I think you covered it. Follow the runners, absolutely. I'll see you at the next race at 5 o'clock in 15 minutes. Bernard, it was a pleasure to do commentary with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to join you.
Thank you for joining me.
And
It
thank
was
you
a lot
for
of fun
your
for my first
restream.
commentary. For the track.
All right. Well,
I think
I'm going to
we'll
sign off then. Thank you very much, everyone.
cut stream and start it up on the next one. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Where's my chat? Yo.